Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about who Medusa is. It's one of the most famous monsters in all of Greek mythology. But who exactly is she? We're going to find out today. But before we do that, if you love all things mythology and folklore, then hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Medusa is one of the most well-known monsters in all of Greek mythology, but there's a little bit of confusion as to what exactly she is. You see, her name actually means to remember or to commemorate. And that's why the poet Stasinus called her Medusa. He said that she was the first monster that sprung from the blood of the Titans after Zeus slew them. However, this isn't really her true form, and later poets would change her name to the Gorgon Medusa. Gorgo is actually an archaic word for female demon, so it makes sense that later writers wanted to clarify that Medusa was a demon. But wait, let's back up here, because we need to talk about the blood of the Titans. See, there was a war between the gods of the Titans and the giants. And the Titans were slain by Zeus. So his blood flowed across the earth and mingled with the ichor of the slain giants. This created a race of monsters known as the Gigantomachia, which translates to the Battle of the Giants. This group included Medusa and her sisters. They were all born from the blood of the Titans and the giants, and they were all incredibly scary. Medusa wasn't the only monster born from this union. She had two sisters named Stheno and Eurybia. There was also a male monster named Typhoeus, who was so huge he was thought to be the father of tornadoes and hurricanes. Now, Medusa's sisters were Gorgons as well, but it seems that Medusa was the only one that was actually immortal. It's said that the three sisters were priestesses of the goddess Athena. They were said to have wings like bats and snakes for hair. Their eyes were terrifying, and their hands were hooked like a bird of prey. However, despite their looks, men would often try to woo them, and this made the sisters very angry. So they would turn these men into stone, just as an owl does to its prey. One day, though, a hero named Perseus came across their lair and decided that he wanted to slay the Gorgons. Now, obviously, we all know that Perseus managed to kill Medusa, but he didn't actually slay her sisters. It took another hero named Bellerophon to slay the other two Gorgons. Bellerophon was actually a friend of Perseus, and he helped him slay the Chimera as well. But he grew arrogant and tried to fly to heaven on the back of a winged horse named Pegasus. And since mortals weren't allowed to do that, he was thrown from the horse and fell to his death. But I think that might be a story for another day. So anyway, Perseus used Medusa's head as a weapon, and he used it to turn many of his enemies into stone. The most famous example of this is when he turned King Polydex to stone. And I'm sure you've heard the story about how he used it to turn the sea into a horse. But there are other examples as well. For instance, when he went to rescue Andromeda from a sea monster, he actually turned the monster into stone without even having to fight it. However, it wasn't just people that he turned to stone. When he and his companions sailed to the island of the Blessed, they encountered a giant crab, and he turned it to stone as well. However, the thing is, it wasn't just the creature that was turned to stone, but also the island itself. And so this caused the island to sink beneath the waves. And this is where we got the constellation of Andromeda. I know that was a lot to take in, and I'm sorry about that. Medusa's head is such a powerful artifact in Greek mythology, and it definitely deserves its own video. But that's going to have to be another day because I've got another video to finish. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And until next time, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.